which will mean dire circumstances for those involved. But that's the way it is with war, isn't it? But these ladies, what might they be up to? What powers do they possess?
When shall we meet again? In thunder, lightning, or rain?
And when these three meet, dire circumstances are troubled.
When the battle cry is done, when the battle's lost and won. That shall be ere the sense of sun. Where the place upon the heat to meet. MacBeth. MacBeth. That was a cry.
You see, it's the future, their power, the ability to predict the future. MacBeth, Thane of Glamis, Lord of Glamis, if you please, leader in King Duncan's army, fighting in that battle just over that hill, a loyal subject, a good man. Well, as good as any of the rest of us, with his hopes, his dreams, his aspirations, just like us. We all have our dreams, our aspirations. The difference between men is the difference in the length that they will go in order to obtain those dreams. Meanwhile, the battle rages on. Welcome. Come quickly, Duncan, the Scottish king, with his son Malcolm, heir to the throne.
What bloody man is this? He must come from the battle.
This is the brave sergeant who saved me from capture. Hail, friends! My liege!
What has happened in the battle as thou didst believe it.
My liege! The outcome looked doubtful. The merciless MacDonald from the western isles of Kerns and Gallaglasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned quarrel smiling. The rebel MacDonald was being reinforced from Ireland, and luck was definitely on his side. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth. With his brandished steel which smoked with bloody execution, like Baylor's minions carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which never shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chop, and fixed his head upon our battlesmiths.
Sorry?
Macbeth cut his way through the battle straight to MacDonald, who didn't have time to say goodbye or shake hands before Macbeth split him from navel to jawbone and then cut off his head and put it on the castle wall.
You have done well, Sergeant.
Thank you, my lord.
Brave soldier, this war is soon over, and you will go back to your home, your family, your work.
I, my lord, back to my home, my work, because now I must take my leave. I am faint. My gashes cry for help. I'm kind of wounded, and I really need to go see a doctor.
Brave man. What is his work?
English teacher, thanks.
King Duncan and Prince Malcolm watched the battle from the top of the hill. For though the traitor MacDonald was defeated, the Norwegians, their allies, began an attack. And a fearsome conflict it was, and they were twice again in number. Without hesitation, Macbeth drove them from the field. Banquo, the other captain of the field, fought bravely as well. Thrice attacked and thrice counterattacked, and time and again Macbeth beat back his enemies. Until at last Macbeth and Banquo, the king's captains, were victorious.
Well done, Macbeth, Thane of Glamis. Now to the king, you proceed. He and his family may be safe now.
It will be a walk to get there. Let's go.
Now that walk. you look.
You look like women, though certainly not attractive ones.
Speak if you can. What kind of creatures are you?
All hail Macbeth! Hail to you, Thane of Law!
All hail Macbeth! Hail to you, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail Macbeth, the future king!
Good Macbeth, why so startled? If this is true, it is good news. Are you illusions? Is what you speak the truth? What you've told my noble friend here has rendered him speechless, but to me you speak not. If you can see the future, tell me, how will things turn for me?
Hail!
Hail!
You are lesser than Macbeth, but also greater.
You are not happy as Macbeth, but much happier.
Your descendants will be kings, though you will not be one. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo! Banquo and Macbeth! All hail!
Stay imperfect speakers. I truly am the Thane of Bloms, but how can I be Thane of Cawdor? That man lives.
Good friend, they are gone.
Were they ever even here? Your children will be kings.
You will be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too. Is that not what they said?
Exactly what they said.
Who's this?
Hail Macbeth, the king sent you his thanks.
And your reward.
Hail the Thane of Cawdor.
Why so? The Thane of Cawdor lives.
The Thane of Cawdor lives, but he will soon be dead. He fought on the side of Norway, who is defeated. What? Can the devil speak true?
It's just as the witches foretold. Now I am the Thane of Bloms and of Cawdor. And the best part of their prediction is yet to come. Two things have been foretold this day, and one has come true.
Who can blame a man for thoughts that might come into his head?
Duncan is king. His sons are his heirs, not me. How could they all be pushed aside so that I can ascend to that throne?
All these thoughts rushing through his brain. They would all have to be dead. But how? Murder?
What? How? Why does the thought of murder cross my mind? Whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and cause my heart to knock against my ribs? Good friend, what make you of all this?
If you trust what they say, you might be on your way to becoming king, but this whole thing is strange. The agents of evil often tell us part of the truth in order to lead us to our destruction. The betrayal that will damage us comes later.
At any rate, if chance will have me be king, it may crown me itself, without my having to stir.
Aye, that it may.
Let's go to the king.
Macbeth is pretty excited now. So much so that he sends a letter home to his wife. So we move now to the castle of Macbeth. Ah, there she is, Lady Macbeth, with the letter just received from her husband.
The witches met me on the day of my victory in battle. While I stood there spellbound, the messengers from the king arrived. They greeted me Thane of Cawdor, which is precisely how the Weird sisters greeted me right before they called me future king. My dearest partner in greatness, keep this secret, and farewell.
Now most wives would be very happy with this news. Her husband has just gotten a big promotion.
You are Thane of Bloms and Cawdor, and you will be king, just like you had been promised.
But Lady Macbeth is not your typical wife.
But I worry whether or not you will have what it takes to seize the crown.
She has a bit of an edge.
You are too full of the milk of human kindness.
She will not want to wait on this.
Hurry home, so that I may pour my spirit in thine ear.
Lady,
What is it?
the king comes here tonight.
Here, tonight.
Aye, my lady. Macbeth rides ahead. He will arrive at any moment.
Go then and look after your master when he arrives.
Now for Lady Macbeth, this news is just too good to be true. And now you'll get a little further insight into this lady.
Come, you spirits that assist murderous thoughts. Unsex me here.
That means make me a little more like a man than a woman.
Fill me from head to
Thicken my blood and clog up my veins so that I will not feel remorse. Turn my mother's milk into poisonous acid, you murdering demons. Come, thick night, and cover the world in the darkest smoke of hell, so that my sharp knife cannot see the wounds that opens. Come, messenger, like a coarse raven.
And just in case you still don't understand this woman and her intentions,
Like a coarse raven, he announces Duncan's entrance into my fortress, where he will die.
behind every great man.
My wife, my husband, Thane of Mums and Thane of Cawdor, and soon to become king.
My dearest wife, Duncan, comes here tonight.
And when does he leave?
Tomorrow.
That day will never come. You will leave this to me. You must not betray our plans with your expressions. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent that lies in it.
We should speak further about this.
And in case there's any doubt in your mind about who wears the chain mail in this family,
That's a peaceful mood. Do not look troubled. Leave all this rest to me.
This castle is in a pleasant place. The air is sweet and appeals to my senses.
It is a peaceful and serene place, a safe haven for MacBeth's friends.
Look, here comes our honored hostess.
Your Highness, we gladly welcome you as our guest. We are your servants and, as always, our house and everything in it is at your disposal.
Give me your hand and lead me to your husband. We love him dearly and shall continue to favor him.
yes, to Macbeth. Macbeth, whose head must surely be spinning by now.
If it were done when 'tis done, then it were well it were done quickly.
Meaning, if he's going to do it, he needs to hurry up and do it. Macbeth has a lot to think about here. Consequences, for instance.
For crimes like these, there are punishments in this world.
Indeed.
Justice will force us to drink from the same poisoned chalice we serve to others.
And Duncan, the man himself, does he deserve this?
He is here in double trust. I am his kinsman. I should be barring the door from evil, not bearing the knife myself. And he is a good and humble king, so free from corruption that his virtue will speak for him when he dies.
No matter how he considers it, there's only one reason for Macbeth to murder Duncan.
Ambition, vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself and causes one to run ahead of oneself without thought
So,
towards disaster.
second thoughts. He's not a monster, our Macbeth. He knows Duncan is a good man, and he's not stupid. He knows people are going to be upset when Duncan is killed. He's not mean, he's not ignorant, he's not unfeeling, but he is married
Why did you leave the dining room?
to her.
We cannot go on with this plan.
Were you drunk when you seemed so hopeful before? And now you've woken green and pale with fear.
The king has honored me. I have earned the good opinion of all.
Are you afraid to act the way you desire? Now on this is the way I'll think of your love.
Please stop. I dare do only what is proper for a man. Anyone who would do more is not.
If you weren't a man, then what kind of animal were you when you dared to do it?
And now, good patrons of the theater, Our Lady Macbeth is about to demonstrate exactly what she meant when she said she may need to pour her spirits into Macbeth's ear. And you, good persons, might want to cover yours if you're a bit squeamish to avoid that spirit from injuring your own.
When you dare to do it, then you were a man. And if you go one step further by doing what you dared to do before, you'll be that much more the man. I have given suck and know how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. I would, while he was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his smiling gum and dashed the brains out. Had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail? But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep,
asleep, I'll bring wine to the servants guarding his door. When they are drunk asleep, we may do whatever we will. And whatever we do, we may land the drunken servants in the morning. Prepare thyself. I will ring the bell when it is ready.
May you only give birth to male children. Go then and pretend to be a friendly hostess. The false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
And at that dinner, MacBeth was given more gifts and titles. King Duncan was most generous, lavishing praise on the Thane of Cawdor, Glamis. How does this happen? To murder someone who is so kind to you. For now he is intent on killing him.
Is this a dagger which I see before me?
What damage would that do to a normal man's mind?
Its handle towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee.
He's hallucinating, as would you.
I have thee not, yet I see thee still. Now with blood splotches on the handle. Murder, having been roused by the howls of the wolf, walks silently towards his destination. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or hell.
Yes. The bell means that Lady MacBeth has drugged the servants. They're lying helplessly drunk instead of guarding the entrance to King Duncan's bedchamber. And our worthy Thane is on his way to complete the night's work.
The alcohol that got the servants drunk had made me bold. Macbeth must be killing the king at this moment. I put the servants' daggers where he could find them. He couldn't have missed them.
One might logically ask, why didn't Lady Macbeth just kill Duncan herself?
Had he not resembled my own father as he lay there asleep, I would have killed him myself.
It's good to know there's some tenderness there.
My husband,
I have done the deed. Didst thou hear a noise?
owls and crickets.
I passed a room on the way here. A servant praying. He cried, God bless us, and amen, but I couldn't reply. I couldn't say amen.
Consider it not so deep.
But why couldn't I say amen when I so desperately needed God's
We
blessing?
cannot think about these deeds. They will drive us mad.
Then I thought I heard the voice say, sleep no more. Macbeth hath murdered sleep.
What do you mean?
Macbeth hath murdered sleep. Macbeth will sleep no more.
You let yourself become weak when you think about things in this cowardly way. Why did you bring the daggers here? Take them back, smear the sleeping servants with the blood, and leave them there.
I'll go no more. I dare not look on it again.
Coward, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but his pictures. Only children fear them. If Duncan still breathes, I'll paint the servants with his blood, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence that knocking? What is happening to me that I am frightened of every noise? My hands, all the water in the oceans would not clean them. They would instead stain the green waters red. Wake Duncan with your knocking! I wish you could.
Of course, Macbeth need not be concerned with the knocking at the gate. That will be the responsibility of the porterer.
There's a lot of knocking! Middle of the night! I suppose it could be a lot worse. I might have been the poor at the gates of hell! Knock, knock, knock! Who's there in the devil's name? Here's a farmer who hanged himself because he hadn't enough money. Hope you brought a handkerchief. You'll sweat enough down here. drink makes a man do 3 things.
And what 3 things does drink make a man do?
Turns your nose red, puts you to sleep, and causes one to urinate. And of course, gets him blind.
I believe drink gave you the lie last night.
Aye, sir, but I got the best of drink.
How so?
I threw it all up.
Is your master in?
Knocking at the way to them. Here he is. Good morning, noble sir.
Good morning to both of you.
Is the king stirring? Worthy day?
Not yet.
He has commanded me to wake him early. I've almost lost the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
And with that, of course, the murderer is discovered. There is much shouting and crying and gnashing of teeth. And one of those 2 poor guards, MacBeth, in a fit of pretended anger, kills them on the spot. Now those guards, those 2 unfortunate guards, and what might they be thinking now after death?
What was that all about? Were we just killed? I think so. Why, pray tell? For the murder of the king! Did we? I know not. Are we in heaven? It appears not. You there! Hat! What place is this?
Ye know full well.
We know nothing. Are we a part of this unnatural act of murder or not?
Only the blade follows you to death.
To what end?
To the arms, of course.
What course?
The course of the tale. It must be told.
Unfair. And wherefore are we now?
Here or there, as ye please.
Whether that,
Fire and brimstone.
hell, and that way?
Chesney.
Hard decisions.
Aye. Let's put it all in.
And so the hapless guards are dispatched by MacBeth before even they know what has happened. And all over the castle there is turmoil. Malcolm and Donalbain, Duncan's sons and heirs to the throne.
Why do we hold our tongues? We should have the most to say.
What should be spoken here? Where danger may be waiting to strike us from anywhere, we dare not even pause to grieve in this place.
True enough, we know not who caused this, and it is easy for the false man to show unfelt sorrow.
Our closest kin could be our worst enemies. I'll away in haste to Ireland, you to England. We will mourn this later when there is time and safety.
And by hastily leaving only cause themselves to seem suspect. Since the sons are thought to be complicit in Duncan's death, MacBeth now becomes king.
Thou hast it all now. Macbeth, Glamis, Cawdor, and King, just as the weird women promised. And I suspect thou played most foully for it. But they also prophesied that not your descendants, but mine should also be the future kings. So I'll leave all alone and stay out of thy way. But saw, he approaches.
Here is our most important guest.
If he had been forgotten, our celebration would not be complete.
We are holding a ceremonial banquet, and I request your presence.
Whatever his majesty commands me to do, that is my duty.
How will you pass your time, worthy Banquo?
I will ride. My horses wait at the gates.
Take care. Does your son Flames ride with you?
I, my lord.
Take care that you are back by 7. There is none but Banquo whose being which I do fear. The witches foretold that his sons would be kings. I have sold my eternal soul to the devil, so Banquo's sons can be kings. I will change that.
And so Macbeth sends 2 murderers to kill Banquo and his son Fleance as they ride.
As Banquo left.
I, madam, but he will return tonight.
Banquo and his son leave the castle on horseback.
Mind his countenance. You must relax and put on a contented face for our guests.
We've slashed the snake, but not killed it. I eat my meals in fear, and I spend my nights tossing and turning.
Macbeth's murderers caught up with the father and the son on a heath leading away from the castle.
Things without remedy must be without regard. What's done is done.
Banquo and his son still live, but they can die.
What have you done?
Banquo is killed.
Better you do not know. Full scorpions my mind is.
Not bad. All spent where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy, than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy.
Banquo is killed, but Fleance escapes. That evening at the ceremonial banquet, Macbeth, hallucinating, sees the ghost of the murdered Banquo sitting across the table. Lady Macbeth praised everyone out, explaining away her husband's behavior as a malady he sometimes suffers. Macbeth tells his wife he can't go on not knowing what will happen, so he is going to see the witches again. The witches. I believe that's how this all got started in the first place. Meanwhile, talk around Scotland is more and more against Macbeth.
Doctor was killed by his son. And now trying to say that Banquo was killed by his 12-year-old son?
I tell you, the murderer killed both, now wears the crown.
Where is Macbeth?
In England, with Malcolm and Prince Edward. Even now Macbeth mounts an army to march against them.
And do Malcolm and Macbeth prepare as well?
Aye, my lord, they do.
Two of the most well-known quotes from Shakespeare. What's done is done, and something wicked this way comes.
Gather round until it is told, murderers and witches bold.
No.
We know thy thoughts. Hear you this, but say you not. Beware the thane of fight! Beware Macduff!
I have guessed exactly as I feared. More!
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
I can be harmed by no man, born naturally of woman.
Take no care where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never defeated be until great Birnam Wood to high Tunstall Hill shall come up against him.
That will never be. Who can command the earth and make the trees pull up their roots? I'm safe. But tell me this. Will Banquo's sons ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
But Macbeth demanded to be shown. And so the witches did so, images of future kings. One after the other, they pushed into Macbeth's mind, all undeniably the issue of Banquo. So Macbeth is told he won't be defeated in battle until the very trees of Birnam walk against him, that he cannot be killed by any natural-born man, but no son of his will ever be king. The first two make him bold, the latter turn his mind to poison. His next intended act would be to kill Macduff, would be, but Macduff is in England convincing Malcolm and the English Prince Edward to wage war against Macbeth, so Macbeth slaughters Macduff's wife and children. Meanwhile, back at Macbeth's castle, Lady Macbeth's maid consults with her doctor.
Since His Majesty went to the field, Lady Macbeth walks at night in her sleep, often.
Does she speak?
Aye, Doctor, she speaks.
What does she say?
That I will not tell you. You may hear for yourself. Lo you, here she comes. This is as she always looks, fast asleep. Observe her. Stand close.
Her eyes are open.
Aye, but she sees nothing.
Look how she rubs her hand.
It seems to be an accustomed action with her. Seems thus washing her hands.
Listen.
Out, damned spot! Out, I say! What we need fear, who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him? Do you mark that?
The Thane of Life had a wife.
Where is she now? What? Will these hands ne'er be clean?
No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You'll ruin everything by acting startled. You have heard what you should not have heard.
She has spoken what she should not have spoken.
Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
What a size there. Her heart carries a heavy burden.
I would not want such a heart as hers.
This disease is beyond my medical skills. Still, I have known sleepwalkers who are guilty of nothing.
Come, come. To bed, to bed. What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
This woman needs a priest more than a doctor. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove anything she might hurt herself with. I have an opinion, but I dare not speak it. Good night.
Lady Macbeth is losing touch with reality. Macbeth lost it a while back. But of course, Macbeth is now reviled by his people. He murders those whom he thinks might oppose him. His soldiers are deserting his army to fight for the other side. That enemy, led by Malcolm, Macduff, and Prince Edward of England, is fast approaching to lay siege to the castle. Macbeth is holed up in the castle at Dunsinane. As Macbeth's soldiers leave Birnam Wood to attack the castle, Macduff orders his soldiers to take branches from the trees to hold in front of them camouflage, so to speak.
Hang our banners from the outward walls. Our castle will laugh in the face of their siege. What is that noise?
The cries of more women, my lord.
See what is amiss. Go. I have almost forgotten the taste of fear. There was a time when such a shriek would have terrified me, but now I've had my fill of real horrors. Horrible things are so familiar to me now that they no longer startle me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen is dead, my lord. I will see to aboundments, my lord.
She would have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps into petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the path to a dusty death. Out, out, brief candle! Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Good, my lord. I can report that which I say I saw, but I know how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I stood my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought, the wood began to move.
Liar!
You may punish me, not be true. Come look for yourself.
If thou speakst false, upon the next tree thou wilt hang alive. If thou speakst true, you may do the same to me. Go! Don't worry until great Burnham Wood comes to Dunsinane. And now, it does.
Macbeth's army was easily defeated. Of course, no one was able to kill Macbeth. Remember the witch's prophecy. No man born of woman can harm him. Eventually, the final fight came down to Macbeth and Macduff. They fought for some time, neither one giving way to the other.
You're wasting your time. I lead a charmed life. I can be killed by no man born naturally of woman.
Spare thy charm and let the devil thou servest thee. Macduff was born from mother's womb untimely ripped.
Which means, of course, that Macduff was not naturally born of woman. Untimely ripped from a mother's womb would be Shakespearean for Caesarean. And so, he is slain. Malcolm is crowned king, and Macbeth leaves an empty, reviled legacy. But before you leave this theater, consider how different you might or might not be. Consider your reaction to the promise of fame, fortune, and glory. Your reaction to those supernatural, spiritual advisors whispering in your ear, "Your witches." Who's whispering in your ear?